Welcome to episode 141, Spotlight, Controlled Maintenance, where we explore how systems can be serviced and repaired without compromising their security posture. The MA-2 control ensures that maintenance activities, routine or emergency, are performed with the same discipline applied to daily operations. Uncontrolled maintenance can unintentionally bypass protections, introduce unauthorized components, or expose sensitive data. Controlled maintenance mitigates those risks by requiring planning, authorization, monitoring, and documentation for every action performed on critical systems. The goal is simple but vital: keep systems functional without eroding the trust, integrity, and auditability that security controls provide. Building from that foundation, maintenance begins with defining and authorizing roles and qualifications. Only personnel with verified training and clearances should perform work on controlled systems. This applies equally to internal technicians and external contractors. Qualifications confirm not only technical ability, but also awareness of handling procedures and access limitations. For example, a certified network engineer may be cleared for switch firmware upgrades, while a facilities vendor is restricted to environmental sensors. Documenting these permissions ensures that maintenance rights are intentional, not assumed. Authorization preserves accountability and helps investigators trace actions back to qualified individuals if anomalies later appear. From there, pre-work approvals and scheduled maintenance windows enforce predictability and coordination. Every maintenance task, hardware replacement, software update, calibration, or inspection, requires prior approval and scheduling through change management channels. Scheduled windows minimize operational disruption and align with backup cycles or downtime tolerances. For instance, upgrading a database cluster might be approved for Sunday at midnight when transaction loads are lowest. Pre-work authorization also validates that dependencies, rollback plans, and notifications are in place. Predictable scheduling prevents maintenance from devolving into ad hoc tinkering, turning operational necessity into a controlled, auditable process. Building on planning, tools, parts, and media used in maintenance must also be controlled. Items introduced into secure environments, diagnostic devices, replacement hardware, or removable media pose significant risk if not verified. All materials should be inventoried, scanned for malware, and approved before use. For example, a field technician's USB drive should be read-only and inspected before connecting to production systems. Parts should come only from trusted suppliers with authenticity verification. Afterwork, tools and media must be accounted for and removed promptly. Controlling materials prevents unintended contamination and ensures that every object entering or leaving the environment can be traced. From there, escort rules govern maintenance performed in high-risk or restricted areas. External technicians or non-cleared personnel may require physical or virtual escorts to monitor activity. Escorts verify that work stays within scope, that sensitive systems are not accessed unnecessarily, and that procedures follow policy. For example, when a third-party HVAC technician services data center cooling units, an internal facilities engineer should accompany them. Escorting reinforces oversight without impeding legitimate work. It demonstrates to auditors and regulators that critical spaces remain under constant supervision and that no maintenance action occurs without authorized visibility. Building further, capturing configuration state before work begins establishes a baseline for verification. Recording system versions, settings, and operational metrics allows teams to confirm afterward that the system was restored correctly. For instance, before applying firmware updates, a technician might export configuration files, hash them, and store them in a secure repository. If post-maintenance checks reveal unexpected changes, the baseline aids in diagnosis and rollback. Configuration capture ensures traceability and protects against inadvertent deviations introduced during service. It transforms maintenance from an opaque activity into a reversible and verifiable process. Building on data protection, remote maintenance sessions require additional safeguards and visibility. Remote connections introduce risk through unauthorized access or credential misuse. All remote maintenance must be pre-authorized, time-bound, encrypted, and monitored in real time. Recording sessions provides evidence for review and accountability. For instance, a vendor connecting remotely to update router firmware might use a secure gateway that logs every command executed. These logs become invaluable for troubleshooting or forensic analysis. Remote access control ensures that convenience never supersedes security, turning what could be an uncontrolled link into a monitored and defensible activity. From there, validating results and performing return-to-service checks confirm that maintenance achieved its purpose without side effects. Validation may include functional testing, performance monitoring, and rerunning automated security scans. For example, after patching an operating system, administrators should verify that intrusion detection agents still run and that services start correctly. Return-to-service checks formalize this validation before systems rejoin production. They serve as the safety net between maintenance completion and operational resumption. Thorough validation prevents silent failures or degraded configurations from lingering unnoticed, ensuring that repaired systems return stronger, not weaker. Building further, recording timestamps, personnel names, and procedures followed creates a detailed maintenance log. Each entry should capture who performed the work, when it occurred, what was done, and which authorizations supported it. These logs become permanent evidence of compliance and a diagnostic record for future investigations. For example, if a performance issue arises days later, logs help correlate events and verify whether recent maintenance contributed. Complete documentation makes maintenance traceable and defensible. It converts operational memory into institutional knowledge that supports audits, quality assurance, and continual improvement. From there, oversight of third-party maintenance providers adds another layer of assurance. External technicians and service firms must follow the same controlled processes as internal teams, supported by attestation evidence. Contracts should require suppliers to submit work records, validation results, and confirmation of adherence to security policies. For instance, a hardware vendor performing warranty repairs might provide post-service certification verifying that tamper seals remained intact. Oversight turns vendor participation into a shared accountability model. When third-party work is subject to the same rigor as internal operations, the organization's control environment remains consistent and trustworthy. Building on consistency, exceptions, waivers, and compensations should be explicitly time-bound and documented. Emergencies may require maintenance outside standard approvals or procedures, but these deviations must not become permanent habits. Each exception should describe the reason, scope, temporary controls, and planned expiration. For example, emergency disk replacement during an outage might proceed under expedited approval, followed by formal documentation within 24 hours. Time-bounded exceptions maintain agility without undermining governance. Recording them ensures transparency, proving that deviations were deliberate, authorized, and mitigated rather than spontaneous acts of convenience. From there, metrics such as post-maintenance defect rates and rework frequency reveal how well maintenance controls perform. Defects post-maintenance measure unintended issues introduced during service, while rework rate tracks how often maintenance must be repeated to achieve proper function. For example, if recurring problems follow certain maintenance teams or vendors, analysis may uncover procedural gaps or training needs. Monitoring these metrics provides feedback to improve planning, authorization, and validation. Quantifying outcomes transforms controlled maintenance from a compliance requirement into a continuous improvement process guided by real performance data. In closing, controlled maintenance ensures that repair and service activities preserve system integrity instead of compromising it. The MA-2 control demonstrates that discipline during maintenance is as critical as discipline during normal operation. By enforcing authorization, oversight, data protection, and validation, organizations prevent minor tasks from becoming major incidents. Every adjustment, replacement, or patch becomes an auditable act grounded in planning and proof. Through these practices, maintenance evolves from a background routine into a cornerstone of operational trust-keeping, staying safe, stable, and ready for mission-critical work. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.